Good Monday morning. The key to today's passage is the word believe. In fact, believe is the thrust of Mark's gospel. Mark doesn't present Christianity as just a fascinating historical account of events that took place in the first century. Mark stresses the fact that the death and resurrection of Christ is something to be believed, and it's intended to change lives. As we act on our belief changes us. A climate of persistent and stubborn unbelief prevailed among these disciples after the resurrection. They found it difficult to accept this amazing fact that the one they'd seen crucified was now risen and living among them again. An important takeaway for us here is that Jesus expected the 11 to believe before they saw him. He wanted and expected them to believe the reports of the eyewitnesses who'd seen him. They were trustworthy people, and they were reporting what had actually been experienced. And that should have been enough to convince these disciples that Jesus was risen from the dead. Jesus actually rebukes them for their unbelief, even as he did in the days before his crucifixion. He takes them to task because they refused to believe those who'd seen him. You can see the importance he attributes to this matter of believing the eyewitnesses. John's gospel tells us a week later Jesus appeared to them when Thomas, who had not been with them when he appeared the first time, was present. Jesus invites Thomas to examine him, put his hand in his side, and touch the nail prints on his hands and feet. Thomas did so and cries, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said, "You've seen me, you've believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed." Years later, when Peter is writing his letter to the Christians, he says to them, "Though you have not seen him, you loved him, and though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy." One thing is clear from the account here in Mark. When we have adequate, trustworthy witnesses who report to us what they've seen, we're expected to respond with belief. These men saw the risen Christ. They were granted a privilege you and I have not been granted. But nonetheless, our faith can rest upon a solid foundation. Even though we've not seen him, we believe because of the eyewitness accounts right here. Lord, I know that your resurrection is more than just a religious story. I trust the trustworthy evidence of the gospel on which I base my faith and my life. Lord, I believe. Thank you for the good news that you are not dead but alive and that you live within me. You have the power to break the chains of sin and the bondage of evil in my life. Do what only you can do in me, I pray. In your holy name, amen. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.